Hallo, dieses ist die erste Ausgabe des AERO TALK. Mein Name ist Wolfgang Borgmann. Ich bin Redakteur des Magazins AERO International und dort für den Bereich Industrie und Technik zuständig. Neben mir sitzt Guillaume Debauchez, unser erster Gast und ich glaube für die erste Ausgabe auch ein ganz hervorragender Gast, denn er ist für das Thema Ausbildung von Piloten hier bei uns und ich freue mich auf ein Gespräch, das wir auf Englisch führen, da Guillaume kein Deutsch spricht. Und Englisch ist die Sprache der Luftfahrt und daher glaube ich, ist kein Problem, dass wir dieses Interview heute auf Englisch führen.
Thank you, Wolfgang, for this invitation. I'm really happy to be here today.
So, Guillaume, the pilot training is a topic which is very hot at the moment.
Yes.
So most airlines are seeking pilots and there's a pilot shortage.
Yes.
And so I've heard that you have got a very interesting tool to make applicants fit for the application to pilot jobs, which is also a very difficult thing because many airlines have very demanding programs to find the right candidates. And I think you have a very good tool. And maybe you can introduce a bit first yourself and then what you are presenting and what you are doing.
Good. Yes, thank you, Wolfgang. First of all, regarding pilot shortage, a good solution to manage pilot shortage is to get more applicants through. If more applicants are better, of course, more applicants will go through, and that will pretty much take care of a large chunk of the pilot shortage. So, but this is a long discussion. So I'll introduce myself first.
Yes,
indeed.
Please,
so my name is Guillaume Debauchez. So I'm French. I did my flight training in France, and after years of struggle, I ended up joining British Airways. So my story is first of all one of a big failure, which was one of my Air France selection. It's part of my story where I went there, I prepared a lot, I did a quite good selection, and then Air Liberté, which was the second airline in France, went bankrupt that same week. Which caused a very big halt on the recruitment, and it was very painful because I had worked a lot. And thankfully, they debriefed me, which was very constructive for me, knowing that I should persevere. And a year and a half later, I was the first French national to join British Airways with a European license. There were some French people who had joined British Airways who had lived in England all their life or had an English parent. This happened before. That was the first one there, and it was for me a big success. So what happened after Air France is that I never wanted to feel like this again. The way I felt was despairing, and I can still remember how that felt. I still wear that scar today. Every day when I see an Air France airplane, I still feel that, and I still imagine how it is for them to be inside that airline that I wanted to join. Now, in my case, this scar was partially healed because I ended up having the career. I joined British Airways, and then after that, after 7 years, so I flew the 320 and the 777 for them, which was wonderful. And then I went on because, well, at the end of the day, England, although it was fine, the UK is fine, British Airways is a great company, I wasn't at home, and I looked for other horizons where I could become a captain quicker, and so I went to Emirates. So there I was first of all a first officer, and then I entered the recruitment department very quickly after an email opened the recruitment for that position, because I was so passionate about finding out what was on the other side of the curtain. And so I did that, and then I became a captain. And then eventually, after COVID, I returned to Europe to create this business called Airline Selection Programme. And the reason that I created it is when first of all, after the Air France story, I decided I never wanted to suffer like this again. And so I studied recruitment. I went like, what happened on the other side? How I need to study this in a different way. Okay, my preparation was good on studying the airline, but on the recruitment processes, something I could improve there. And I read a lot of American books about it. And that's how I passed British Airways, and I applied the same technique again and again. And when I entered the Emirates recruitment department, I went like, oh my God, why aren't they telling this to applicants? This is sure, the little secrets that should be guarded by the airline because they don't want people to know exactly what to say, sure. But the overall process should not be that secret. people should know how they're going to be evaluated in order to prepare for it. And today, this is still a gap on the market, a gap that we are filling now because we are helping applicants to understand what's going to happen so they can feel confident and comfortable and perform at their best.
So you founded Airline Selection Programme,
Yes.
and you are the CEO of this
Yes,
company.
I am, yes.
And have a website, so it's
Indeed.
a web-based tool, I think.
Yes, so we have an online approach, but it's an online approach with a personal approach as well. So all of our courses are e-learning, because e-learning, it's also called asynchronous learning, is a very efficient way to learn. We do deliver this course at some select ATOs who want us to come in person. This we can do with other ATOs, no problem. But when we do that, we still give the e-learning to the students because learning in a classroom is great. You see the trainer, you interact, but it's in the case of our main course, it's 2 days of intense training. When the teacher disappears, you're left with your notes.
Yeah. Okay.
But with the e-learning, you can, if the e-learning is well designed, which is our case, you can refer to the content as many times as you need. And it's this constant in and out of the learning that will gradually build a strong foundation, and that it will become like a form of DNA for you.
Yeah.
You know?
You offer several kind of training.
Yes.
So you do a more general training
Yes.
for all kind of applications
Yes.
for different airlines.
Yes.
And you do very specific programs for
Yes.
certain airlines, like Air France, like British Airways,
Indeed.
Wizz Air.
Yes.
And for, as you say, the Irish pilot market, so which I think is more Ryanair and
Yeah, you could
or
say that.
SAS Connect or companies like that.
Yes.
So it focuses on many aspects of pilot training. So how do you get the informations that you need for these certain programs like Wizz Air or BA, and how do you train the people specifically to these companies?
Okay, well, so first of all, some of this information is public. They give it out.
Okay.
Some of this information is just fed back by students and candidates who speak with each other on forums. On R, we have a very big Discord channel where people exchange and we get to know. They write us reports and we synthesize these reports and put it into our courses. And there are also other services that are very good with that. One of them is pilotassessments.com, for instance, where most airline candidates will be a member of that, and it's their job to actually tell you exactly what's going to happen and help you know what's going to happen. But it's one thing to know, it's another thing to manage to perform with that knowledge.
Yeah.
And this is where we come in.
Yeah.
So
is this unique that you offer all these various possibilities, from basic pilot application to a certain airline application? Is that unique in the market, or where's your unique selling point that you offer?
Our unique selling point is that, in fact, our main courses are not the airline-specific courses. There are two levels. One level, the most important level, is the foundation. And in this foundation, we have a course called Advanced Interview Course, which is our flagship course. It is our most important course. It is a course that all pilots should take, because succeeding at interviews is something you need to learn. There's a set technique for that. You need to understand the recruiter. You need to understand the operational pressure that an airline pilot faces. You need to know how to study an airline. You need to have a minimal finance training to understand how to read an annual report, for instance, as you approach your interview. You also need to understand the key competencies that are required. We actually give our applicants inside Advanced Interview Course a personality questionnaire, so they understand what the psychologist is likely to be wanting to discuss. So this is a foundational course. And let's be clear about one thing. Most airlines are looking for the same thing. They want sound behaviors, sound decision-making and the right attitudes. They go about it in a slightly different way. But even then, a CV and a letter, there's going to be a group interview, there's going to be a sim exercise in most cases, and then there's going to be an interview. So they'll go about it in roughly the same, and there's going to be psychometrics. But the foundation is what will make you comfortable. It's your engine, so to say. Before us, airline assessment training was done by smaller companies that were focusing on one airline and one airline only. And what they were giving is just the surface of what's going to happen and trying to prepare for that, which was, in our mind, a little bit school-like. You prepare like you're going for an exam. But if you don't have the foundational behind it, then actually you don't really know what they're actually expecting. And so I would often have candidates who failed and they come to us after that, and then they say, I knew what the exercise was, but I didn't know what they were on about. They asked 3 times the same question in a different way.
So give them the confidence to self-confidence and
exactly.
So the background for the talks that they will have when they apply with the airline.
Exactly, and so we did the what we call the surface courses. So we've got 4 at the moment of this recording. We've got Air France, British Airways, Wizz Air, and low-cost Irish Airline. We could do one for Lufthansa, and now that we're here in Germany today, I'm so happy. I would love to, and a member of my team actually works for Eurowings, and when we do a course for a major airline, we want to understand it fully. Okay, so Air France we understand fully, British Airways I was there, fully understood, and for Lufthansa we're getting there, and we would love to do one.
So the German market is where you want to enter right now.
Yes, the German market has a different dynamic, but it's similar in the way that it's first of all it's got one big admired major airline of similar size than Air France and British Airways. It's demanding. It's well renowned. It suscitates the dream of very many children and adolescents and young adults who want to go flying. And it's an airline where you can do a full career, of course. And also, Germany is a country to my mother's a German teacher, so I know Germany a bit. But from an aviation perspective, of aviation enthusiasts as well, very much like France and the UK. So it would make sense for us to have an additional course, but it's not here today. The reason we made these specific courses is that there was demand, and we thought, okay, we've done the foundational courses. And now we can help you by doing some advanced research for you. We teach inside Advanced Interview course how to do the research, but we'll do it for you. We'll tell you more about the specificities of this airline so that you don't have to waste your time. So essentially these surface courses are time savers. But if you don't do the foundation underneath, you're still going to arrive at the recruitment building wondering what they are going to actually expect from you.
So that's fantastic, but you have to tell us where do we find your website and under which address, and would the applicant contact you or another certain person in your company, or how does it work?
So it's quite simple. Our website is online.airlineselectionprogramme.com. There you will see a web page with some videos, and there's a little chat bot, and you can speak to the chat bot. And after a little while, if you want to really speak to someone, it will be myself, my assistant, or any of the other people working with us at that time who will end up actually interfacing with you. We've done some pages that help you understand how we work with videos as well, so we don't have to set a Zoom unless you really need to talk to us. But then if you need to talk to us, we will organize it. And then you get on the course, and then on each of the courses there is a very big e-learning part, like we said, but there is also always the possibility of getting a consultation, doing a one-to-one interview, for instance. We have services around it because we understand that you are different to another person, and you may need some people just want to talk. They want to say, I've got this thing in my career, should I talk about it? I had this terrible flight one day, should I talk about it? And we can help you round the corners around your examples to make you more polished the day you arrive, without changing you. We're never going to change you. You are the way you are, but it's nice for you to be aware of how you're perceived so that you can understand how the recruiter is going to feel and give them a good perspective into what they're going to get when they're going to hire you.
I think that's a good final word. So thank you very much, Guillaume.
Thank you, Wolfgang.
So, liebe Zuschauer, das war die erste Ausgabe des AERO Talks. Wenn es euch gefallen hat, abonniert unseren Kanal, liked dieses Video und wenn ihr mögt, schreibt uns in den Kommentaren. Denn wir wollen von euch hören. Wir wollen eure Reaktionen und stellt uns Fragen zum Thema Ausbildung oder zu vielen anderen Themen rund um die Zivilluftfahrt.